It's becoming harder to tell where the fairy tale ends and the performance begins. Every time Meghan Markle steps into the spotlight, one figure follows her like a reflection that refuses to fade. Marcus Anderson. Always close enough to whisper, always present enough to be noticed. He isn't just a friend anymore. He's the quiet constant, the elegant shadow, the man who seems to orbit every move she makes. And somewhere behind them, trailing by a few careful steps, stands Prince Harry, smiling, but not quite convincing anyone that the smile is real. That night in New York wasn't supposed to look like this. It was meant to be a reminder that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry still had their grip on the world stage, the golden couple who walked away from a palace only to build their own empire. But the illusion cracked before the first camera flash faded. Meghan, dazzling in designer perfection, moved through the crowd like a woman born for the lens. Marcus Anderson matched her rhythm, effortless, composed, sharing small glances that said more than a headline ever could. And behind them, Prince Harry stood just a little too still. His smile didn't reach his eyes. His hands tightened, loosened, then tightened again, the gestures of a man trying to look comfortable in a room that no longer belonged to him. Witnesses whispered it wasn't just a moment, it was a pattern. Whether it's charity galas, private dinners, or Montecito brunches, the pairing is always the same. Meghan and Marcus side by side, leading every scene while Prince Harry fades into the background. Even insiders have started joking. Is it Harry and Meghan with Marcus? Or Meghan and Marcus with Harry? The laughter is soft, but the message cuts deep. Inside that glittering ballroom, everything looked perfect on the surface. But perfection has a sound. It's too polished, too rehearsed, like applause that comes a second too early. Meghan Markle sparkled beneath the chandeliers, her confidence glowing like a second skin. Prince Harry, once the bold royal who defied tradition for love, looked like a man quietly losing the room. And when Meghan leaned toward Marcus Anderson, touching his arm with an ease that only comes from long familiarity, the cameras caught Harry's gaze drifting away, distant, heavy, searching for something to hold on to. They came to New York for the Project Healthy Minds Gala, a night about purpose and partnership. But the irony was cruel. The couple once hailed for escaping the rigid royal system now stood in another kind of hierarchy. They weren't seated near the power tables. Not table 1, not even table 3. Table 9, a quiet reminder that even rebellion has a shelf life. For the once most photographed couple on Earth, table 9 felt like exile in sequins. Still, Meghan didn't flinch. She smiled for every lens, owned every flash, every whisper. She laughed at Marcus's jokes, adjusted her hair, and turned her head just right for the perfect shot. And Prince Harry? He sat, polite and distant, offering tight smiles to strangers who once would have bowed to him. It was a scene that spoke volumes. A wife glowing in her element, a friend radiant beside her, and a husband shrinking in the space between. An observer described it perfectly. It didn't look like a couple celebrating together. It looked like a woman running her brand, and a husband there for support. That's the painful symmetry of it. Prince Harry left the monarchy to escape hierarchy, yet in the new empire of Hollywood influence, Meghan Markle has become the crown. And whether he realizes it or not, he's no longer the prince of this story, but every unraveling begins with a single thread, and this one traces back to Paris, the city of love, the city that Prince Harry avoided for decades because of one haunting truth. It's where his mother, Princess Diana, lost her life. He once vowed never to walk those streets again, not even for royal duty. Yet insiders say when Meghan Markle took an unexpected business trip there alone, something shifted permanently. Sources claim she filmed content near the very tunnel where Diana's car crashed. And when Prince Harry found out, he didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He just went silent. That's the kind of silence that breaks more than shouting ever could. Friends say he felt betrayed, not because she worked, but because of where she chose to do it. To him, it wasn't a filming location. It was a grave, a scar. And when Meghan returned with her usual poise and plans, those who know Harry say his eyes had changed. The light was dimmer, the trust thinner. From then on, their partnership started to look different. The unity they once wore like armor turned into choreography. Each movement, each smile, each look rehearsed for the cameras. Meghan Markle glowed like a woman fully in control of her destiny. Prince Harry followed just out of frame, polite, present, but somehow elsewhere. And Marcus Anderson? Always in the perfect spot, never too close, never too far. The man who doesn't need to be introduced because he's always been there. At that New York gala, every detail told a story, and not the one they wanted to tell. When Harry reached out to touch Meghan's hand, she pulled away gently, just enough to be subtle, just enough for the cameras to miss it. But the human eye catches what the lens doesn't. That moment said more than any interview could. Once, she was the woman who held his hand through storms. Now, her hand belonged to the spotlight. To outsiders, it still looked like a royal love story reborn in Hollywood. But to those watching closely, it was something else entirely. A mirror cracking under the weight of its own reflection. And behind that mirror stood three figures. Meghan Markle, radiant and untouchable. Marcus Anderson, loyal and ever-present. And Prince Harry, caught between devotion and disillusionment. The night was beautiful, the lights were blinding, but sometimes the brightest rooms hide the darkest truths. Behind the closed gates of Montecito, the flashes fade and what's left is silence. The kind that doesn't comfort. The kind that lingers. Inside that mansion, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry still share a home, but not a rhythm. Their lives now run on parallel tracks that rarely meet. When the morning sun hits the marble floors, Meghan is already on her laptop, scheduling, networking, rehearsing, reshaping her next move. Her world hums with ambition. Calls from PR teams. Messages from Hollywood producers. Elegant brunches with women who make empires out of brands. She's not waiting for permission anymore. She's building her own monarchy. And Prince Harry, the man who once defied 1,000 years of royal order for love, spends those same mornings in quiet. Walking the garden trails, earbuds in, listening to songs that used to remind him of peace. The man who once fought for freedom now seems trapped in a version of it that doesn't include him. People who've been to the house say it's beautiful but cold. The kind of beauty that photographs well but doesn't feel like home. The walls are lined with framed moments, smiling faces, perfect poses, brand partnerships, but behind every frame is a story that's starting to ache. Insiders whisper that Marcus Anderson has become the anchor of Meghan Markle's inner world. He's there at the private brunches, the planning meetings, the quiet dinners that never make it to the press. Always supportive, always poised. The kind of presence that doesn't just accompany her, it stabilizes her. For years, Marcus has been the gatekeeper between Meghan's two worlds, the Hollywood dream and the royal ghost. And while Harry respects him, there's an unspoken distance. Marcus Anderson represents everything Meghan thrives on: movement, ambition, control, and everything Harry wanted to leave behind. Those close to the couple say the tension isn't about jealousy. It's about identity. Prince Harry traded his royal duty for a quiet life, but Meghan Markle traded her quiet life for the power she always believed she deserved. Two different directions, two different versions of freedom, and somewhere between those choices, their love began to bend under the weight of their own story. The world still sees them smiling, arm in arm, dressed to perfection at charity events and gala dinners. But when the cameras are gone, they return to a house divided by silence. Meghan on one end reviewing strategy decks and media notes. Harry on the other, scrolling through old photos of his mother, wondering when he started feeling like a stranger in his own life. They still dine together at sometimes. They still laugh and occasionally, but their laughter feels lighter now, as if both of them know it's borrowed from a memory that's fading, and yet they can't walk away. Not completely. Not cleanly. Their names, their deals, their legacy, all woven together in contracts worth millions and an image worth even more. To separate would be to break the brand. And the brand for now must survive. So they keep performing the illusion. Meghan Markle radiant on cue. Prince Harry composed and dutiful beside her. Marcus Anderson quietly in the wings, ensuring every moment runs smoothly. Some friends whisper about space. Others call it a pause. Allegedly, there have even been talks of a trial separation. Nothing public. Nothing official, just time apart to breathe. But the truth is, both know what that really means. Space becomes distance. Distance becomes silence. And silence, in marriages like theirs, is a slow goodbye wearing a perfect smile. Theirs is a slow goodbye wearing a perfect smile. What's strange is how much of it feels familiar. Once upon a time, Prince Harry gave up his world to escape hierarchy. Now he lives in another one, built not by crowns, but by cameras. Meghan Markle runs it with precision. Every post, every event, every appearance calibrated to remind the world she's still winning. And maybe she is. But in that quiet space between strategy and spotlight, something human is slipping away. People close to them describe it like a movie that's gone on too long. The scenes still look perfect, but the emotion has drained out of the frame. Even the love feels edited, carefully placed, professionally timed. When they appear together, they still hold hands, but now it looks like part of the choreography. When they laugh, it feels like dialogue written for the press release that will follow. Every detail, every gesture, too immaculate to be accidental, and yet Prince Harry stays. Maybe out of love, maybe out of duty, or maybe because he knows that walking away would mean confronting the truth he's been avoiding. That the woman he sacrificed everything for has built a kingdom where he no longer fits. Meghan Markle still dazzles. Marcus Anderson still orbits. And Prince Harry, quiet as ever, still walks a few steps behind. At night, when the house finally stills, insiders say you can sometimes hear him outside on the balcony, just standing there, staring at the California hills. The same hills that were supposed to symbolize peace, now holding a silence that feels like judgment. Meanwhile, Meghan plans her next move, the next appearance, the next reinvention. She's not cruel, just focused. The world sees her as composed, graceful, unstoppable. But even she must feel it sometimes. The weight of maintaining perfection while the foundation quietly trembles. The cruel truth. They didn't escape the monarchy. They reinvented it. A new kingdom where power is measured in engagement rates and influence, not titles. Where crowns are replaced by contracts. And where love is the brand that keeps the empire alive. Once, Prince Harry believed love was the escape. Now it's the cage. Once, Meghan Markle believed freedom was about control. Now it's about performance. And Marcus Anderson, the ever-present friend, remains the thread connecting it all. Loyal, silent, essential. When they smile for the next headline, remember this. Those smiles are not lies. They're survival. Because in their world, truth doesn't live in interviews or photos. It lives in the space between the flashes, in the quiet look Harry gives when Meghan walks ahead, in the soft glance Marcus shares when no one's watching. The fairy tale didn't end. It just transformed. From crowns to contracts, from vows to visibility. Meghan Markle still reigns, Marcus Anderson still shadows, and Prince Harry still searches for peace that no palace and no freedom ever gave him. And somewhere in that silence, the love story that changed the world becomes something else entirely. Not romance, not rebellion, but survival wrapped in gold.